This is a step-by-step of the making of this carved sign, starting out at the lumber yard, picking out some lumber. In this case, way up high is the American red cedar we're looking for, and he's cutting off a chunk for me to take back to my shop so I can get it prepped for the project. Here I'm routering and smoothing the blank, which is 11 inches by 20 inches and about 1 3/4 inches thick. And I'm getting it nice and smooth for the pattern that I'm about to make to transfer the image onto the blank. So I wanted to make sure it's nice and smooth. And next I'll be making a paper pattern using an electric pounce machine, perforating small holes so I can transfer the charcoal powder right directly onto the sign blank. Once I do that, I can start routering the borders and depths that I need to start sculpturing the image. Now I'm using a Dremel tool to round off and to fine-tune some of the more intricate details of the carving. I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to removing wood, so I don't mind using whatever I can to remove chunks of wood as much as possible, as fast as possible. I'm using just various tools to make details, lines in the horse's hair, mane, things like that. And then it comes down to finally just sanding everything down, all the edges nice and smooth, all the edges of the horse, the trees, all the border, things like that. Now I'm putting a stain prep wood conditioner onto the surface of the wood so that all the stain will be applied nice and even. And I have various colors that I'm going to be using, and these are polystain, so they're a combination of stain and polyurethane, which will seal the wood real nice. So I'm just using various colors to make horses, trees, background, and the border, so that there's so that the elements really stand out. And I'll go in and I'll grab some of the darker colors to do the mane and some of the eyes and shadows, things like that, just to create a more 3D effect. Here I'm doing the border with the darkest color. And I also use this also for the back of the sign blank to protect it from the elements. Now I'm going to apply a lettering enamel to the area where I'm going to be doing the lettering. And I put a little bit of hardener in it and some smooth flow so that it will be very durable and apply and be very smooth. And I did 2 coats of this. So it'll be very hard and durable, and also be a very excellent surface for the gold leaf that I'm about to apply onto this. Now I'm doing the same pattern technique for the actual lettering. These are going to be gold leaf lettering. Now I'm applying a powder onto the surface of the paint. If I didn't do this, the paint would, the gold leaf would stick to the paint. You'll see in a minute. Now I'm transferring the pattern, and so there'll be small white holes and dots wherever I pounce the charcoal through. So there's black charcoal, and then there's also white charcoal. I use that on the dark surface. And the size that I'm using, the gold size that I'm applying right now, just cuts right through that fine powder. I mean, that powder is just really super duper fine, so it doesn't have a problem cutting right through that. But without it, it would literally be impossible, almost impossible to remove the excess gold from the painted surface that you don't want the gold to be applied to. And I'm doing some of the scroll work. And I've also protected the rest of the sign with the paper, just because gold leaf, once it's removed from the surface, tends to blow around a lot. And I'll use a shop vac to to suck up all the gold that's flying all around the shop. So here now I'm applying the 23 karat patent gold, and it's just a matter of rubbing it on, and timing is everything with gold size. You have to know when to apply this. You can't apply it too soon or too late. It has to be just right, and you test it with the back of your knuckle, and it's a squeak method. So you just rub your knuckle lightly across the gold size, and that way you know when it's ready. And here I'm just applying it. I wanted to do this so you could see how much time it does take to make one of these signs, but also how fun the process can be as well. It is actually a fun process. It's definitely a labor of love. And I realized that this entire project could have been completed with a computer-generated flatbed router system, achieving pretty much perfect results. But this is hand done. It looks like it's hand done. It was done with hand tools, power tools, and paintbrush, and finally gold leaf. And then I'll be doing a fine black outline around the letters to make them to clean up the edges, because there's always a little slight rough edge on when you do gold leaf. No matter how perfect you do the size and put on the leaf, there's always a slightly rough edge to it, so it just looks a lot nicer. Here I'm brushing off the excess gold and vacuuming it up so it all looks real nice. And now here I'm applying the same lettering enamel, but in black. That background color is a dark brown, and what I'm applying now is a black, and has the same hardener in it, so it'll be nice and durable. And it really cleans it up and makes it look really good. It makes it pop. So you can see how the process goes of making one of these signs, and it really looks nice when it's all done. It's really fun. You can see the soul in the sign because it's all hand done. And I'm just doing the scroll. A lot of hours are put into this. But it's definitely worth giving it a shot. And there's lots of different types of wood too that people use. I just happen to choose red cedar for this. And I end up finishing up all the rest of the outlining and coming down to the finish line. And there it is, a completed hand-crafted, hand-carved wood project. Thanks for watching. Happy carving.